All right, and we're live. So welcome back to Dapp University. So today we got a lot of big updates to cover. The first major thing is that Ethereum 2.0 has just announced a big change in their roadmap that's going to happen very soon. I'm going to tell you everything in this video that you need to know. Bitcoin has broken a new all-time high of $50,000, a huge psychological number. We'll talk about that. Look at some metrics around the Bitcoin blockchain, also the Ethereum blockchain to see what's going on in that space, and then a lot more. Like yesterday, I promised you some details on an opportunity where you could potentially earn free crypto. I forgot to do that at the end of the stream yesterday because we had so much Q&A. So I'll get to that at the end of the stream today. And then, the $1 billion NFT craze, hash masks are still taking off like a rocket. I'm going to show you some ways that you can, look into hash masks without even owning any. It's pretty cool. So before we get into that, if you're new around here, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something that you're interested in, then smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to learn how to become a blockchain master step by step from start to finish, then head on over to dappuniversity.com/bootcamp to get started today. All right, so we got a bunch of people in the chat here. So we got Edward, Clairvoyant, Ruben, Potato, Christy. Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, there is an Ethereum 2.0 update. So let's go ahead and get into that. Let's see here. My analytics on my stream are off here, but everybody can hear me okay? We're good? Awesome. Somebody says we need ETH to rocket. Yeah, I would be happy about that. So let's go ahead and jump into that first big item of news here. So Ethereum 2.0 is set to undergo the first hard fork upgrade. Okay, so if y'all know really like how Ethereum 2.0 works, it's a brand new blockchain. So if you're using Ethereum right now, you're using Ethereum 1.0. Ethereum 2.0 is a brand new blockchain that's going to be ready for, get the blockchain ready for prime time, support really fast transactions, be way more scalable, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So we are in the middle of a multi-phase rollout for Ethereum 2.0. And we have a new blockchain set up already. It's called the Beacon Chain. All right. And you can deposit Ether onto this new Beacon Chain to become a validator, start earning the passive income reward for securing that new Beacon Chain. But it's its own separate thing right now. So if you're still using Ethereum 1.0, you're not even touching Ethereum 2.0 really unless you've made a deposit, which most people haven't unless they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. So part of the reason for that is so that that blockchain can be upgraded. There's lots of reasons, but one big benefit right now is they can upgrade that blockchain without affecting, all the activity on the current Ethereum network. So one big major upgrade that's going on right now is its first hard fork. Okay. So basically, whenever you make new upgrades to a chain like that, it forks into a new chain. Now, this doesn't mean like people holding Ethereum right now are going to get like free double coins or anything like that. That's not what we're talking about here. But this is a big deal because it shows that Ethereum 2.0 is shipping. The updates are being made. They're moving a lot closer to that next milestone of getting out of phase 0 into phase 1. Because again, phase 0 right now is where we are. We got the validators turned on. We got people who are still depositing into the deposit contract. We'll look at some metrics on that here in a second. But the big update here is the biggest benefit that I see out of this is support for new light clients. Okay. So basically a light client's a way to get access to the blockchain data so that you don't have to use a third-party provider to connect to it, and you get access to the data on the chain itself. So that's something that needs to be built in order for this infrastructure to be mature. And that's probably the most notable update that's happening with that hard fork. So there's some other things for sure, but the big picture here is that, we're making massive strides towards delivering on the promise of Ethereum 2.0. And just seeing that activity out there in the public boosts a lot more confidence in the Ethereum ecosystem. And, what Ethereum 2.0 is trying to achieve, and gives us a lot more confidence that this is going to be here sooner rather than later. So we don't have any firm timelines on when this is all going to happen, like when Ethereum 2.0 will finally arrive. We have some guesses. Anytime there's been like a date in the past, it's typically gotten pushed back. So I think we probably won't see as many of those advertised dates in the future. And when we have hard deadlines, like we knew when the deposit contract would go live, when there's an official announcement, all that kind of stuff, that's different. But typically, when we have people just want to know, hey, when's it gonna get here, and then a date gets thrown out, it's usually not an official announcement. It's usually kind of like a leak, and then then the word spreads, and then it doesn't ever ends well. So let's go ahead and look at what's going on with Ethereum right now. Also, I mean, Bitcoin, it's a big deal. Bitcoin just broke a brand new all-time high of $50,000. Didn't stay there. It just broke through that ceiling briefly. I'm sure there's a lot of sell pressure at that price. I haven't been really looking at the order books on the exchange or anything like that. I would expect that a lot of people are trying to cash out at $50,000. Probably a lot of people shorting at $50,000. So it would need to really break through that in order to convincingly stay above 50K, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So we're at 49,234. So 234, awesome. Yeah, we just smashed through 50K. Of course, we came back down. We're kind of raging here. Let's go ahead and look and see what's going on with Glassnode. Somebody made a comment yesterday that my Nupal chart on Glassnode was behind. They were right. I wasn't logged into Glassnode, so now I am logged into Glassnode, and my Nupal chart should be right. So let's actually look at Bitcoin here. So let's look at an updated Nupal chart. So yeah, we're in the green. We're not in a crazy like blue euphoria phase. So it's actually shallower than it was before. When you're trying to get into blue territory, that's typically when it's not a guaranteed indicator, but it's time to start asking some questions. We can look at other things like UTXOs in profit. I think it's actually a lot. You have to kind of use a lot of these metrics in tandem with one another to get a three-dimensional or multi-dimensional view of what's going on. Yeah. Okay. So let's see here in the chat. Ethereum to the moon. So what's new on ETH 2.0? Please just started to watch. So Ethereum 2.0 is having a next major update in their roadmap. The ETH 2.0 beacon chain is hard forking to a new, yeah. I realize you guys probably couldn't see that Nupal chart on the screen here. Can go back and look at it. So yeah, that's where we are right now. Okay, so next, let's go ahead and look at ETH. What's going on there? I'll go over and switch to my screen here. Do I have a price prediction for ETH in 2021? You can go to my YouTube homepage and browse my videos, and I break down a prominent Ethereum price prediction and tell you what I think about it. It's pretty obvious which video it is. Just go scroll there, you'll find it. All right, so let's take a look what's going on with actual Ethereum price. So again, like I'm not a huge trader, not a big TA guy. I'm mostly just looking on to what I'm invested in, which is mostly Ethereum. I own some Bitcoin too. I own a couple DeFi projects that I've had for a while that I not going to sell anytime soon. So but ETH is the biggest one, and then Bitcoin after that, and then a couple of these DeFi projects. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of the air gets sucked out of ETH while Bitcoin's like trying to get out of its all-time high and establish itself above $50,000. That wouldn't surprise me at all. We'll just wait and see. I don't see anything like concerning here that what's been happening with ETH. I don't see anything on the larger, market that would make me really freak out about what's going to happen with ETH in the short term. I mean, you're going to see some volatility. I mean, Ether's more volatile than Bitcoin, for sure. Yeah, I'm not concerned. I'd love to see ETH break above $2,000 and establish itself there sooner rather than later, but I'm willing to be patient. So let's look at some of the ETH metrics actually on Glassnode, because that's the other thing you can look at. You can look at, you know, ETH on exchanges. You can look at DEX volume, all that kind of stuff. You can also track Ethereum 2.0 metrics, which is pretty cool. So I'll show you that right now. You can also look at transaction fees, which is a pretty good indicator of the usage of the actual network itself. So let's look at balances on exchanges. So this is an interesting metric to look at when you're talking about, you know, if you see this number rising, perhaps that means that people are going to cash out of their ETH. If it's falling, maybe that means people want to hold their ETH. I don't know how Glassnode counts all the exchanges, because part of this number falling would also be ETH moving to decentralized exchanges. Okay, so this is not necessarily a perfect metric. If somebody has a better understanding of that, let me know in the comment section below. This is one I would question, because I would see this number naturally fall as ETH moves off of centralized exchanges to wallets so that it can be used on decentralized exchanges, you know, swapped on Uniswap, put in liquidity pools to earn a passive income reward, that kind of stuff. So, but still, if this number was going up, it would still be, you know, if it was like spiking up back to old levels at the same time that the Ethereum was like reaching, you know, 4 to 5 times its previous all-time high, then maybe we were a little bit. But so you can't, all these metrics aren't just like perfect indicators of what's going to happen, but they're, you know, multiple pieces of the puzzle for trying to see what's going on with the future. So we can also look at Ethereum 2.0. So I gotta expand the screen here to go to the menu. You can look at the number of deposits going to the deposit contract. Let me pull that up here. So we can see, close this here. So he's the total value staked, all right. 3 million ETH. Total number of validators. Kind of plateaued after middle of January. That's okay. Part of this is a little bit of bottleneck for how long it takes for new validators to become activated. Total number of deposits still steadily going up like crazy. Number of new validators. Still seeing activity there. All right. New ETH staked, new deposits. Balance of greater than 32 ETH is dwindling. However, that's, I believe, on Ethereum 1.0 right now. And so anybody who accrued 32 ETH to become a validator and sent it to the deposit contract won't be counted, I think, in these metrics. Okay. So that'd be another natural reason for those numbers to go down. All right. So I'm feeling good about Ether for sure. Definitely about Bitcoin. I mean, that's awesome that it broke its new all-time high. I'd love to see Bitcoin establish itself above $30,000. Love to see Ethereum establish itself above $2,000 and continue moving upward. Wouldn't surprise me if ETH got a little bit of air sucked out of it right now while Bitcoin's trying to do its thing. We'll see. So another thing that's pretty cool are, you know, the hash masks, of course, are just taking off like a rocket ship. Let's pull it up here. So I've been talking about this on the channel. You know, this is definitely the $1 billion NFT craze. It's crazy. I mean, it's a brand new asset class. We've had NFTs for a while, but they're really starting to gain more traction. We got Mark Cuban talking about NFTs. We got a lot more people talking about it. We got Gary Vee talking about NFTs. And recently, you know, hash masks are the new project. So part of the thing that gives NFTs value are the new novel projects. So we saw CryptoPunks. It was like sort of the first digital collectible. It's not really one of the big reasons is it's an original, but also predates the ERC 721 standard that we use for collectibles. You know, CryptoKitties. We got hash masks. So this is like the new generation of NFTs that have a novel concept behind them. Okay. You know, I bought a hash mask. We saw one of the top hash masks sold for I think 420 ETH, so it's pretty crazy, right? So the prices on these have been going up like crazy, and one really cool way to track this is the NFTX index. All right, so this is actually a DeFi project that lets you get exposure to hash mask prices without actually owning hash masks themselves. So it's an index. So it basically it lets you lets people put hash masks into this basket, and then track the price of those hash masks, and then you can just buy a token that represents like the average value of the hash mask. That's not perfect explanation, but that's the gist, right? Basically, you can buy a token that represents the value of these different hash masks, okay? And so you can see the price of that going up like crazy. It seems like it's kind of cool off a little bit. I wonder if this has anything to do with the Bitcoin price. It seems like when Bitcoin kind of does its thing, you know, everybody else kind of takes a breather for sure. So yeah, this will be interesting to watch. This is something you can look at. So I want to talk a little bit about this project. So I think it's pretty cool. It's NFTX. So NFTX is the one behind this, but let me find the link to their website here. They're planning on doing a lot with NFTs. So here's a link to the actual index itself. You can see the IDs of the hash masks that are in there. Okay. I'm excited to see what happens with this project long term and other NFT apps like this, because you know, some people think that the hash mask craze is sort of like the, you know, it's like the tulip craze, or like, why would anybody buy collectibles? Doesn't make any sense, etc., etc., etc. You might be right, or they may get the same kind of hype and value and nostalgia that other physical collectibles have gotten over the years, which have skyrocketed in price, like Pokemon cards, for example. Okay, so but beyond that, is NFTs can be used to represent all kinds of stuff. Like they could be used to represent, you know, music, art, videos, any other multimedia, insurance contracts, deeds to a house, like lots of different stuff, right? I mean, maybe we have other standards that represent those types of things. Maybe the NFT isn't the perfect thing to represent that, but it's close. And we could see other standards spin out of this that would represent those types of things, where you can settle the value of those things on a blockchain. And the reason I'm saying all this is because this project is planning on is like taking that and saying, okay, what can we do with that? We can create these indices or indexes, or you can invest in a basket of these. We could tokenize these. We could let people take out loans against the value of the NFTs. So if you buy an NFT and it appreciates in value like crazy, and you don't want to take a tax hit on the gain of that NFT, then you could take out a loan against it and use those funds to invest and make more money, or something like that, like what we're doing in DeFi. Same thing that people are doing right now with their DeFi tokens. If you buy a DeFi project and it goes up 100x and you don't want to sell, well, you can stake it and then take out a loan or a different cryptocurrency and go use that to make more money, basically leverage it. All right. So they're doing that with NFTs. Yeah, I'm excited about this. Again, the NFT craze is it's gone up like crazy. Okay, that's why we're doing the NFT masterclass next week. I'm super excited about that. Going to show people how to create their own NFTs, create their own website to sell them, all that kind of stuff. So, all right. So yesterday, I see some good questions rolling in the chat here. I'll take those here in a second. Yesterday, I talked on the stream about a chance where you potentially are able to earn free cryptocurrency, and I forgot to mention it. So I want to do right today and follow up with that. So I'll pull that up right now. So 1inch Exchange has given more people free cryptocurrency. Okay. So I want to tell you who's eligible for this, whether you are or not. You can check by this test. So we've seen lots of different DeFi projects do this, where basically you use the app early on, they airdrop free cryptocurrency to their users. And Uniswap did this, 1inch did this, a couple of people did it, Tornado Cash did it. So 1inch did it recently, all right, when they issued their cryptocurrency. But now they're going back and they're saying, hey, if you have used Uniswap under a certain set of conditions and you haven't used 1inch exchange, then we'll like give you free 1inch tokens. And of course, those can be staked, all that kind of stuff. So basically they're trying to like coax people over onto their platform who haven't used it yet. So basically the long story short is if you have used Uniswap a lot and have never used 1inch exchange, you can go to 1inch exchange's website, click on the icon at the top right hand corner, and they'll show you like whether you're eligible to earn these free tokens or not. So it's pretty cool. We've had a lot of people watching this channel get free cryptocurrency. You know, if you've been following along with this channel last year, I traded on Uniswap, done any tutorials where I showed you how to use Uniswap or 1inch exchange or Tornado Cash, you would have gotten, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars in free cryptocurrency. So that might be you. So go check it out. All right, so let's see here. We got some questions in the chat. I want to jump on some of these. What's up, bro? Not a tech guy, but I enjoy your channel. Awesome, thanks. You could be a tech guy. Lots of people could be the tech people who aren't yet. A lot of it comes down to your interest. If you're interested in technology, there's probably a way that you can be a tech person. Somebody says, somebody asked a minute ago, will ETH 2.0 address the rising gas fees? So yes and no. Yes, but we will still have layer 2 scaling solutions on top of Ethereum 2.0. Layer 2 will happen on Ethereum 1.0, but we'll still use layer 2 on top of Ethereum 2.0 to really achieve the benefit that we need to reduce the transaction costs. So the good news is we'll get a lot of that benefit relatively soon. I've talked about that a lot on this channel. Layer 2 scaling solutions are basically here. There are projects that already have them implemented into their applications. Some of those solutions just need to have some of the kinks kind of worked out. I mean, a lot of the kinks are worked out. It's a matter of just battle testing them, getting them ready for other applications to use, integrating those other applications so that there's a common paradigm, and we're off to the races. That could take some time. We don't have a crystal ball to know how far away that is. Could be literally weeks away, but I still stand by my original prediction that we'll have layer 2 scaling widely used in 2021. It's really easy for people to get impatient on this stuff. You know, people think that Ethereum needs to solve its stuff right now or else somebody's going to come in and take it over. I don't think so. I mean, it's hard, you know, like if it's hard for Ethereum to do it, you should be kind of skeptical as to why somebody else thinks they can achieve the exact same benefit without the same trade-offs. So what happens to my ETH when 2.0 launches? So ETH 2.0, it's basically going to get integrated into Ethereum 2.0. So you won't get like double ETH. Your ETH will just transfer over. What do I think of Dogecoin? So I've talked about that some on this channel. I mean, I don't have any predictions on the price. I don't think Dogecoin is like a bad thing. I don't think it's a serious project. It was not created to be a serious project. I don't personally hold any Doge. I get a little bit worried about the security of the Dogecoin blockchain. Like, I really hope Doge doesn't get like 51% attacked or something like that. As one of the reasons I don't personally hold it is I have zero confidence in this long-term security of Doge. So yeah, I mean, I think it's fine for people to just kind of play around with Doge, and it's fun, all that kind of stuff. Just like it's fun to go buy a lottery ticket every now and then, but for people that like want to gamble away their life savings, I say stay away with the 10-foot pole, or don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So any thoughts on Polygon Matic? So yeah, this is actually really cool. So I think side chains. So I'll give you my roundabout thoughts on this. So anybody doesn't know, Matic is basically EVM compatible side chain. They are now becoming Polygon, and they're, from my understanding, going to try to offer lots of different approaches to Ethereum scaling. So this is a big deal. It's pretty cool. I'm optimistic about the project. I think side chains are cool for securing different types of value and doing very specific transactions. I think NFTs could be a really good application of side chains. We're actually talk about that in the NFT masterclass, show you how to put it on a side chain like Matic. I think we're probably going to use XDAI, but that's a similar type of thing. So part of the reason I can see NFTs really working well on side chains is because it's less value to secure. You can do cheaper transactions. One of the reasons I feel like one reason NFT adoption is a little bit stalled out on Ethereum, unless people are speculating on massive gains, which they are, is just the gas fees, right? So people want to buy cheap NFTs and send them around. It's hard to really do that in a cost-effective way on the base layer 1 Ethereum chain right now. But it's a lot cheaper on side chains. The reason I say this, like, it'd be really hard to do an NFT for a concert ticket on Ethereum 1.0 right now in a cost-effective way, unless you're talking about like, absolutely premium, like Super Bowl box seats or something like that, right? Which even then, I think a lot of people would get upset that they're paying like a few $100s to purchase it and then send it around to their wallet. Why is the Wi-Fi token not seen to be affected by the 2 hacks? That's a good question. I think people are just more bullish on the space right now. If it had happened last year when Wi-Fi was brand new, it would have been kind of crazy. So why do I have a mullet? That's a good question. I think it's just the kind of way my hair's looking right now. Thoughts on Algorand, Cardano, Polkadot. So I released a video on my channel about this a couple weeks ago. You can go check it out. So what are some examples of layer 2 chains to utilize instead of ETH-based layers to solve gas fees? There's lots of different layer 2 scaling solutions. One of them, there's lots. So I talked about side chains being used, especially for NFTs. Optimistic rollups are ones that I'm excited about. So you can look up the Optimism project. I should have did a video about that in the Blockchain Mastery program a couple weeks ago. They are on their mainnet soft launch. It'll probably take a little bit more time before it's fully ready to go. Synthetics is using Optimism. You can use it now. It's pretty cool. Are we too early on NFTs? That's a good question. I don't think so. It depends on what we're asking about. If we're talking about can to make 100x gains on NFTs, I mean that might take you a while. I'm not saying it won't happen. I don't think we're too early as far as the technology goes. I think we're seeing legitimate use cases where people want to use them. In order for them to work well in the Ethereum main chain right now, they have to back a lot of value in order for people to want to pay the gas fees in order to acquire the NFTs themselves and transfer them, just because all the activity on Ethereum right now is expensive. So the only NFTs that are really going to be viable are the ones that secure a lot of value and are likely to increase in value. All right, everybody. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for coming by. I really enjoyed answering your questions at the end of the stream. As always, smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel. That really helps these videos out so more people can learn about blockchain. If you like these videos, you're as fascinated with this technology as I am, how can you become a blockchain developer today? You go to my YouTube homepage, find any of my free courses there. They're like Udemy courses, but they're totally free. If you like those, you want to take the next step, or hey, maybe you want to take a master shortcut entirely, I can show you how to become a blockchain master step by step over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, you don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. All right, so that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.